All right, so part 3 is our final step, which is to move the currently selected text into the upper right-hand corner. So, of course, we don't know how to accomplish this in VBA, so we're going to hop out here to the old interwebs and ask the experts. So here, I need to move an object to the top right of the active page in CorelDRAW. And it gives us this explanation, gives us some code, and essentially what it's saying is we have to get the active page and the selected object that we want to move, and then step 2 would be to align the object, and then step 4 it's combining everything and executing. So I want to go ahead and copy that last bit of code and come over here to CorelDRAW, and let's just go ahead and enter this. And let's type this 222. Okay, so we're going to align to the top right. Now let's look at the code it gave us, because just because it gave us this code doesn't mean that the expert is really all that knowledgeable. So oftentimes it will give us a clue. Remember, we're hacking our way through here. It gives us a clue, but doesn't necessarily give us the exact code that we need. So first of all, active page as Corel page. Nope, I don't think we need that. So we have a variable selected shape as shape. We don't have CorelDRAW shape, just shape is shape. Okay. So we need to set the active page to equal the active page. I'm not sure we need that. We definitely don't need this if. We definitely don't need the if, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. And then all it's saying is the selection count is 0, then you can't do anything. So now we're going to set the selected shape to the active selection.shapes, the first shape in our active selection. And then we're going to do this. We're going to align and distribute. Now, we could run the code just as it is, and let's do that just so you understand how to troubleshoot. So we're going to select this, and we're going to click on the 222, and you can see nothing happens. Nothing happens. So let's go back and take a look at this. Why is nothing happening? We're not getting any type of error message or anything. So we definitely want to have our locals window open, and you can open and close that by hitting this little icon right here. Okay, so we definitely want our locals window open for this. So we're going to hit F8, step into this function, and you could see that it's saying that the selected shape is nothing, that the align right is showing empty, the align top is showing empty, and the align to page is showing empty. Now, when these are showing empty, that's problematic because it's saying that it doesn't find anything. So let's just keep going here. And so we're going to step into it. So you see where it says set selected shape equals active selection dot shapes. So we step into that, and notice that it did change. That value changed. Now there's value there. Okay, it's embedded in here, but you could see that it doesn't say nothing. Now you can see here it says nothing, nothing, nothing. And part of that reasoning is it doesn't know what that is because we haven't defined it. Okay, so when we go ahead and take our next step, it doesn't do anything because all of these were set to nothing, nothing, nothing. So to me, that indicates an issue. So align and distribute. Space. We want to align and distribute the horizontal to the left. No, we want to do it to the right. Comma. we want to align to the top. Beautiful. And then notice here it says align shapes to edge of page. Okay. And that's it. That's what we want to do. We want to take that object that we have selected and line it to the top right edge of the page. Okay. So now in theory, this code should now work. Okay. Assuming we have a selection. Let's go back in here. I want to step through this with you. So assuming we have a selection, we're going to go step into it, F8. You can see that it's showing that the selected shape is nothing because we haven't defined it yet. Now we're defining it. And now it's been defined, and now it's going to execute this line of code when I hit F8. It's going to execute this line of code. Boom. And boom. Now, we didn't see anything happen because we're not in CorelDRAW, but we got no error messages. So let's see if it actually moved that text to the top corner, and you see that it in fact did. Okay? So the reason that previously, with the previous text, the reason it was showing us nothing, nothing, nothing on these declared objects is because they weren't defined, and these are in the CorelDRAW object model, okay? Whereas the previous, what the AI gave us, so this stuff here, this align right, align top, align to page, those are not in the CorelDRAW object model. So anytime you see something like that happening, that is an indication that the AI did not quite give us the exact wording, but it did nudge us in the right direction, didn't it? So now the next thing we need to do is simply move that selected shape. So we would copy selected shape, and we need to dot move it. Okay, and then we want to move it negative 0.5 and negative 0.5. And what that is that's a negative value in the x direction and a negative value in the y direction. And you can actually see it tells us that. Delta x is double, delta y is double, okay? So, so anyhow, that's what that means, okay? Now, if we go back over here to AI, you'll see I said AI move object 0.5 in the x position. And it was essentially telling us how to do that. So we were just going to take the selected object, and we were going to move it, dot move it, and in this case we declared the move distance as a variable, but we didn't really need to do that. So instead of declaring it as a variable that we previously defined, we would just go ahead and put in 0, 0, and notice the x, y distance. Okay. So that's it. So now when we come back over here to move this, you will see that it moves it to the edge of the page and then moves it down 1/2 inch and over 1/2 inch. And it does so no matter what our page size is, right, or orientation. So in this case, we're doing landscape orientation, and we're going to move it, and you can see it does the same thing. So pretty cool stuff. Now, you want to see something else that's kind of interesting? I had, of course, previously worked on this macro, and look at this one. So this one does the same thing. Okay, so we'll move this down, and we'll choose align to the right. And, well, it looks like they're... Okay, that was the wrong one. I forgot. Let's go ahead and delete that, because that was something I was working on previously. So yes, we'll go ahead and delete that. Move object to the right. Sorry. So we'll go ahead and choose that. And notice it does the same thing. It does move it to the right. But you'll notice something that's interesting about this one is the code is very vastly different. So let's look at that code real quick. Notice the code here. So very, very much more complicated. So you see here we're defining the shape OBG as shape, page height is double, page width is double. We're setting it to the active selected shape. Page width equals the active size width, size height, the object width, and the object height. Okay, so we're defining that. And then you see the target X and target Y as double double. And then look at all this stuff we're doing. We're doing the shape object size width from the page width. And then finally, we are moving the position X and position Y a ½ inch. Okay, so way more complicated. I mean, yes, it got the job done, but way more complicated than just a simple, look at that, look at that. We needed to define the shape. We needed to specify that this is the shape, and we need to use align and distribute to the edge of the page, and then we simply need to move it a ½ inch in the X and Y. Way more simplified. So I think, you know, the process of learning all this is it's just kind of interesting. There's lots of different ways to accomplish the same task. But all I did was just copy and paste that AI generated code and then kind of manipulate it from there and just kind of sort of hacked my way through. Now, one more quick thing here for you. So in the my custom macros here, we don't need this one. So let's go ahead and get rid of this because this one did not work. So move to selected top right. We don't need that. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. And then, so we do need to create the text. We are changing the character font size, and then we're going to align to the top right. So let's get rid of the 222. Okay. So now you can see what it looks like, align to the top right. Now, we do need to change this. We'll call it add title block. Okay. So there's our add title block. But with this, we need to call the add, we need to align top to right. Align top to right. So we need to call that as well. Okay. And so now I'm going to delete this. And now if we choose the add title block macro, sub or function not defined. I don't know, maybe I misspelled something? I don't think so though. I don't know. We'll try that again. There we go. So it did do what we asked it to do. I must have had something misspelled. It's the only thing I can guess. Okay? So there we go. That takes care of that. So that can now add our title block. But we don't really need to see these two things under my custom macros because we're not going to want to do these independently of adding a title block necessarily. So what I would do is I would just come in here, and on these, instead of sub, put in public function. Okay? And when you do that, now these are, or you know what you could do? You could even, let's do this. That's really it should be a private sub. I'm sorry. Really should be a private sub. Okay? And basically what that means is, you'll see it here in a second, and this should be a private sub too. Okay? So what that means is, it still exists, but if we come back over here, you could see it's private. You can't see it. It's not public. If we were to use public function, it would still work the same way. It would still totally function, but really a function should result in some type of variable, not variable, but value, some type of value. It should return some type of value, where a sub it just doesn't. It just performs a subset of steps. So now when I click Add Title Block, you'll see it does go ahead and do all the steps that it did previously. It's calling those private subs. And the reason that they're private is because we did not want them visible here. We just want the one macro visible, which is the Add Title Block macro. So I hope all that makes some sense. But I think you could see how, yes, it took us a little bit of figuring it out, but we only had to do that one time. So if there's a certain task that you do over and over and over and over again, hacking your way through creating a macro could be quite useful to you. So I hope there's some value there. Thanks for watching.